What is going on, guys? It's your boy Jay Custer right here from Anime Escape with another What If Marvel Wednesdays, people. My gosh. This episode. Man. So, this episode is Marvel's What If T'Challa Became StarLord. Now, obviously, I'm gonna do the spoiler-free part first, and then I'm gonna give you a spoiler warning. Then you've been warned. If there ever was a French kiss of an episode, this was it. This was just grade A, magnificent French kiss, chef kiss. Just, my gosh, this episode was like, wow, like, if this was canon, that would be so amazing. Like, you could see this turning into a real, like, series and stuff. It's so dope and so great. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I was like watching it, and like every time I was like, what the hell is happening? Like, what is going on? Like, literally every turn in the episode was like that, and I'm like, this is insane. I was like, this is crazy, but I love every bit of it. Like, go watch this episode. Like, I thought the first episode was like, alright, cool, you know, they starting off with a little, you know, yeah. This episode just, it's, oh my gosh, you're like, he did all this? He changed, like, because he did that, everything changed so much. And I'm like, my God. Like, yo, go watch it. If you haven't started the series, start the series now. Go watch it. You will love this episode. I love this episode. It was insane. It was crazy. So, now, you have your spoiler warning now. It should be popping up on the screen any moment. But you have been warned. Because I'm not going to take too long this time. You've been warned. Okay, cool. Bet. Yo. Oh my gosh. I had to throw on the Black Panther shirt for this because this episode was so damn dope. Episode starts off with, obviously, you watching the Watcher, referring to everything that's going on. You see a figure that looks like StarLord going into the same tune that he did at the beginning of the Guardian of the Galaxy movies. But instead of him doing it, getting the Infinity Stone, like what he threw down there, like little magnet thing, he pulled it out. He like holds it out. It comes to him, and next thing he pulls out the mask. It's T'Challa. So I'm like, we already knew this. It's already pretty much been known. But literally, this is the beautiful part. It was like, what is that guy's name? I can't remember his name. Pretty much the same guy that pulls up on StarLord in the movie pulls up on T'Challa. And he was like, please, freeze, who are you? He was like, maybe you know me, but my name is StarLord. And he starts geeking. He was like, wait, StarLord? He was like, the StarLord? He was like, the one that saved planets and universes and stuff, that StarLord? And the other guys are like, what the fuck is that? He's like, yeah, put your guns down, man. This is StarLord, man. Just respect. And he was like, there's no need. It's a self-imposed title. It doesn't really mean anything like that. And he just starts geeking. And he was like, yo, you guys hiring or anything like that? Or, you know, and he's like, well, I'm kind of full right now, so, you know. And he was like, it's my boss. I don't want to fight you, but it's my boss. He was like, it's an honor to fight you and everything like that. So they get into it. The guy punches the electric magnetic shield. He's like, classic StarLord, and passes it out. Then he beats the other guards and whatnot. And like as T'Challa's walking out, he looks back at him. He's like, I've recruited worse, and just takes him with him. So I'm like, now he's part of the Ravengers. I'm like, wow, okay. So then he comes out, and then he's surrounded. And they were like, we have you surrounded. And then this is the part you see like in the trailers. It was like a Ravager is never. What is it? A Ravager never flies solo. And he has to say it like 3 times, and then Yondu comes out with the arrows and everything like that. And Yondu's like, oh, okay, so who's this? He was like, part of the crew now. And he was like, so what do you want to do with this? He was like, yeah, normally we could sell it. Normally we would sell it the old Ravager way we were selling it. But they were saying with the power or something like that, you can flip it and save the world or something like that. And I'm like, okay, so T'Challa pretty much still doing good in the universe, no matter what he is. So do that, and then they go to a bar. Like it is, and this is where everything just flips. Like before that, it shows where and how T'Challa got taken. So pretty much what happened was, Yondu had the original mission from Ego to go get Peter Quill. So, but what happened was because of the vibranium's radiation, since vibranium is technically from space, it gave off a signal, and instead of Yondu going to get him, he sent like two of his subordinates to go get him. So they just wound up picking up T'Challa, thinking that was, he was wasn't from Earth, so they just took him with them. So, and T'Challa was like, well, the kid T'Challa was like, well, the city where I'm from, this city on like a giant alien meteorite. And Yondu's like, you're not freaked out by this? He was like, no, I've always wanted to explore the world. And he was like, well, why explore the world when you can explore the whole universe? And that's where it showed up. That's how he got into becoming StarLord. They picked up the wrong kid, and he just stayed there. So later on, that's where it picks up at the bar, and you see, and this like blows my mind, like completely blew my mind. So this is where you see like the rest of the Ravagers. You got Yondu. I can't think of the other guy, the one that inherited Yondu's arrow at the end of Guardians 2. Taserface. Like you see like the whole, everyone's cool and chilling and stuff. And next thing you know, they're like, what did they say? Oh, the new guy, he was like, oh, this is how everybody, and then Thanos appeared. And he was like, when you bested Thanos, and Thanos pops up, he was like, well, he showed me a better way. I'm like, what the fuck? Like what? And they were like, Thanos? I'm like, wait, Thanos? Like, the Mad Titan Thanos is part of the Ravagers? Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, bruh. What in the hell? So, and he was still talking about how, like, he thinks, like, wiping out half the world, like, half the population in the whole universe isn't genocide. And everyone was like, yeah, but it's genocide. He was like, no, it's random. He was like, no, that's still genocide. So, my God, this gets crazy. So, T'Challa goes to pay for the bill. And guess who's running the bar? Drax, which is like fucking insane. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And Drax like, your money's no good here. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, He was like, no, we don't take cards, we only take cash. He was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And he was like, wait, you're StarLord, the legendary. And he was like, come here, take a picture for me and my wife. And he just snatches him and takes a picture. And classic Drax, he was like, wait, we need to take another one. And StarLord was like, no, I don't want to. He was like, look, you need to. Your face is hideous in this picture. And I'm like, my God, what the hell is happening? Then after that, oh my gosh, Nebula pops up. And it threw me off because all you see is a blue lady with a dress on and blonde long hair. And I'm like, who is this? And then she waves her hair and I saw the metal. I was like, oh shit, it's Nebula. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo, this episode is wild. So Nebula hires him for a job. And pretty much to give a little backstory, it's said T'Challa tells Nebula that Yondu did try to take him back, and pretty much Wakanda was destroyed. So I'm thinking, wow, Wakanda got destroyed because they were out looking for T'Challa, and the defenses were low because of that. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So Nebula hires T'Challa and the Ravagers for a heist. They're trying to get this, I can't remember the name of the daggone plant, but pretty much the plant that's just like one seed of the plant can vegetate an entire world. So like resolving the issue of hunger and stuff, pretty much eliminating Thanos' idea. So I need to remember his name. I need to figure out his name. The guy, half robot guy that was under Ronan. Not Ronan. What the hell? Is it Ronan? Not Ronan. Ronan. The guy that, the Kree guy. I can't think of his name. I cannot think of his name to save my life. But that guy that was under him, he was like, yeah, that would eliminate the problem from Captain, because I think he called him Captain Homicide or some shit like that. I'm like, yo, this is fucking hilarious and insane. So they all come up with, like, first of all, Yondu was like, no, because they find out the Collector has the whatever, that particular type of grass or seed or whatever that can populate the, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm just too excited. So Yondu's like, no, nah, I want no part of it, especially with the Collector and his crew. And they're like, the crew? And come to find out, it's the Black Order. The Collector hired Black Order for fucking security. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell? Like, yo, this, why? Why do you need that much security? Only one of them is good. You got all four? I'm like, oh my gosh, this is too much. So, Yondu was like, look, T'Challa, you may be the leader, but I'm still the captain. And pretty much T'Challa was like, look, you know, I always have a plan, this, and this. You know, this is going to work out. And Yondu was like, you know, I can never say that. So, they go over the plan. They say that pretty much what's going to happen is Yondu and Nebula are going to take a package in which actually holds T'Challa. And then on the outside, the other Ravagers are going to cause a scene which causes all attention to them, and they just go about their business. So, plan goes like, it's so funny because I cannot think of that guy's name. The guy, it's going to bother me. It is going to bother me. I swear it is. It's going to bother me. But the half-robot guy that stops StarLord, whatever. So he was like, this is a perfect plan. Nothing can go wrong. Literally, everything goes wrong. So they get in. The Black Order find out it's a decoy. They shut down everything. T'Challa goes to search for the rice or whatever, or the grass or whatever. Runs, like, he comes across, what's the name of that daggone dog? The space dog, the astronaut dog. He walks past him, he runs into Howard Duck. And I'm like, and Howard's like, yeah, I can show you where everything is. Because he's like, he asked, T'Challa asked nicely. And he was like, yeah, I can show you it's this way, that way. And then you make a left. And he was like, no, you just, pop, come with me. There's no point. There's no point you trying to tell me. You just come with me. So they're getting there. They're getting halfway. And so that's when Yondu and Nebula meet the Collector. And the Collector is jacked. I mean, he's jacked. Like, jacked. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, he looked like he could take over the whole thing. Like, he's jacked. So, come to find out, you know, everything is a oil scrap and everything like that. And, you know, the Baker's not the Baker, but the Collector starts talking shit to Yondu. He was like, oh, the Ravagers, I remember you guys were fun. And he was like, look, we got business to do. Like, I don't have time for this. I went straight. Okay, so, you know, after all that, T'Challa is like with Howard Duck still, and like there's like for some unknown reason, there's a bar in the middle of his collection. He was like, okay, Howard Duck's like, okay, cool, stop, time to refill. And like that's when the alarm goes off and all the doors start shutting, and T'Challa leaves Howard Duck and goes about his way. But as he's going through the ship collection, he runs into a Wakandan ship that was abducted or taken by the Collector. And he goes in, and the medallion around his neck activates the ship. He goes in, he sees like the costumes of the Dormilage. Then he gets a message from his dad, and it clicks, and he was like, my people are still alive. So that's when Nebula drops on him with the Thinker holding, not Thinker, but the Collector holding Yondu hostage. It's like, sorry T'Challa, you know, I owed him a debt. So Nebula double crossed him. So they all get thrown in prison. And it's crazy because like the guy, he's like, oh, this is great. Like, this is one of the StarLord's great escape plans or something. And then like him and Yondu fight. And he was like, you lied to me. And then Taserface like, is this like one of the problems like where the plan went awry, or is this family problems? And T'Challa's like, you lied to me about my people being alive. And Taser's face like, oh, this is a family problem. Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of this. I'm like, it's just fucking stupid and hilarious for no reason. So Yondu explains everything, pretty much saying that his heart wasn't really meant for, you know, staying on Earth. Like he was made, like he was really meant to be like an adventurer and a star and everything like that. So T'Challa gets knocked out by one of the Black Widow. Gets put in the cage, and the Collector is talking to T'Challa, asking like stupid questions like, you got no supervision, no heat vision, shoot laser beams, nothing like that. T'Challa's like, no. He was like, open the cage and I'll find out. He was like, you know what? Label him as power is talking someone to death. And then you're like, you know what? No, just dissect him and get rid of him. And then he's telling this to Ebony Maw. So, you know, all that. And then, what is his name? Not Proxima, not Ebony Maw, not Black Dwarf. Cole Obsidian. He comes in and he gets shot by Nebula. And they were like, so what is going on? And she was like, oh, this has always been a part of the plan. T'Challa just never told you guys. And they were like, wait, this is part of his plan? They're like, well, how's T'Challa getting out? He was like, he keeps his plan close to his chest. Because his medallion arrows on his neck are made of vibranium. He just punched through the glass, starts fighting the Thinker. Not Thinker, but the Collector. Why am I thinking of the Thinker? I just saw Suicide Squad. That's probably why. So he's fighting the Collector, and like the Collector is like ridiculously stacked with all these weapons. Like is like I saw some of them. He had the was it Dark Matter blade from one of the Dark Elves. He had Thor's hammer, Captain America's shield. I can't remember. He had some spear. I can't remember what the spear was, but he had like just mad like weapon. I need to go back and look at it because there was so many Easter eggs that I just missed it all. So I'm pretty sure he had like Black Widow's stingers and stuff like that and everything. But what he pulled out was Hela's helmet, and I was like, how the fuck did you get that? Like, but he has to know that they start fighting. He pins T'Challa to a wall with one of the spears that Helmet makes. So all the other Ravagers are escaping. And, you know, the Cole Obsidian or the Black Order are chasing after them and stuff. And, like, Thanos stops and turns around and just like, go. I handle this. It was like, what? But I forgot what he said. He's like, are you sure you can handle everything? Because, you know, you're not the same thing. He's like, yeah, I got this. Because I'm mad. I was like, oh, Mad Titan reference. I get it. And, like, he goes against, I can't remember which one. But, like, he winds up getting jumped by two of the Black Order. So, everyone gets to the ship. Nebula hears that he's getting beat up. So, she goes back. I think she like shoots Proxima Midnight, and then the other one that grabs her, like she throws like 2 or 3 of the seeds in his head, like in his mouth. So now I forgot to tell you they were in Nowhere. So Nowhere is now terraforming, which is fucking insane. So, you know, they get away. So it cuts back to the Collector and T'Challa fighting. Next thing you see, Yondu pops up. He's like, I ain't going nowhere without my boy and everything like that. So they start fighting, start losing. So come to find out, they got this thing, this plan called Sticky Fingers. So Yondu goes in, distracts the Thinker, takes the gauntlet off, throws it to T'Challa. No, takes the gauntlet off, unlocks the door. T'Challa like high knees him into the container, and it hands the controllers over to the servant. Y'all remember the servant that was always like being treated bad, the pink servant. Like now she's in control of this collection, and so like she just like unlocks everything and like just unleashes it on him. So as they jump into the Wakandan spaceship and fly out, you know, they get was it Lucky the space dog? I can't remember, the space dog. He came with them. So Yondu pretty much had a heart-to-heart with T'Challa. It was like, look, you can be wherever you want to be, and that's okay. So come to find out, they go back to Wakanda. And this is the part that blew my fucking mind. So they go back to Wakanda, and, you know, King T'Chaka is still alive. His sister Shuri is there. His mom's there. And, like, they just have a giant feast for the son to come back. And then, like, they go over everything. And it's just funny because it's like, the Dora Milaje is talking to Thanos. And he was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's still genocide. He was like, nah, because it's random. It's completely random. She's like, nah, it's still genocide. And it's just like, just going down the list of everyone talking. And then it goes to King T'Chaka and then T'Challa and Yondu, and he was like, I wonder how my son came into your possession. And then, like, Yondu was about to spill the beans, but T'Challa was like, he found me, and he saved me, pretty much. And then it blew my mind at the end, I'm like, that means the Ravagers are now part of Wakanda. Do you know how many Ravagers there are in space? And they're now part of the Wakandan nation because of that one. Oh my gosh. But there's another scene at the end where it cuts to Peter Quill working like at a burger joint, and he's like mopping, listening to radio, like listening to his Walkman and stuff. He turns around and he was like, hey, sorry sir, we're closed. And then this Ego the Living Planet, he was like, hey, you don't even have time for your old man. And then, like, the Watcher's like, but that's the story for another time. And it ends the episode. I'm like, man, look here, man. Never in my life have I been so excited. This video wasn't even supposed to be over 20 minutes, but it's over 20 minutes. So yeah, man, just, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Go watch it. You'll love the episode. Just the small things. My gosh, I have nothing else to say. Stay true, stay savage, people.